Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's Akshadari. Let me start today newspaper. I hope you guys are following the same tricks to improve your communication in the next 15 days. It's been already 15 videos were uploaded in the video on YouTube. I hope you guys are following and reading the newspaper each and every day to improve your communication in the next 30 days. So this been already 15 days is over. There are the only 14 days were left. So let me start reading the newspaper, guys. See you. Hi dear friends, welcome to my channel. It's Akshadare by Devraj. Let me start reading the newspaper, today newspaper. Before going to start today's session, I would request you guys to please subscribe, like, and comment. If you like the video, please subscribe, like, and comment. And if you guys have any doubts or any queries, you can leave a comment in the comment box. You can leave those in the comment box that I can help you out. Let me open the newspaper. This is today newspaper front page. Let me open Bangalore edition. Yes, guys. Center bans 14 mobile apps in J&K. Consultation in final stage. Government tells SC the death of another Nehruvian idea, tracing the origins and hand of Vigyan pressure. SC says it can hand wait for consensual drives. Yes, this is very important, especially SC says it can use its extraordinary power under Article 142 of the Constitution to grant divorce on ground of irretrievable breakdown of marriage if separation is inevitable and damage irreparable. Let me read this news. Here, it's about the divorce, where if anybody is looking for instant divorce, for them it should be very. There is no need to wait. It means. So you can see. Just I will read the article once again. SC says it can hand wait for consensual divorce. There is no need to wait for the consensual divorce. SC says it can use its extraordinary power under Article 142 of the Constitution to grant divorce on ground of irretrievable breakdown of marriage if separation is inevitable and damage irreparable. The Supreme Court on Monday held that its extraordinary discretion under Article 142 of the Constitution can be used to do complete justice for couples trapped in bitter marriages by granting them divorce by mutual consent, sparing them the misery of waiting for 6 to 18 months for a local court to declare the annulment final. A constitution bench headed by Justice Sanjeev Kishan Kaul observed that the same extraordinary Power could be used by the court to quash pending criminal or legal proceedings, be it over domestic violence or dowry against the man or woman. This would wipe the slate clean and help them start afresh their separate lives. The judgment on five petitions, including the lead one filed by Shilpa Sailesh in 2014, authored by Justice Sanjeev Khanna for the Constitution Bench, further observed the way the entire law of divorce was built predominantly on assigning fault on one or the other partner. Such an approach fails to serve broken marriages, the court noted. If a marriage is wrecked behind the hope of salvage, public interest lies in recognizing this real fact. Justice Khanna reasoned. Taking this logic forward, the bench held that Supreme Court could also use Article 142 to grant divorce on the ground of irretrievable breakdown of marriage if the separation is inevitable and the damage is irreparable. Their judgment is significant as irretrievable breakdown of marriage is not yet a ground for divorce under the Hindu Marriage Act. However, the judgment cautioned that grant of divorce by the Supreme Court on the ground if of irretrievable breakdown of marriage was not a matter of right, but as a discretion which is to be exercised with great care and caution. The court said the fact established must show that the marriage has completely failed and there is no possibility that the parties will cohabit together. This is about the Article 142 where it gives the divorce related instant divorce if they have applied. BJP promises uniform symbol code in state if it is voted to power. HDK says JDS is B team of Kannadigas. GST revenues hit 1.87 lakh crore in April. Enhanced security and borders ahead of force. Bike hits car on Bengaluru Mysore Expressway, 3 die. 3 killed on Bengaluru Mysore Expressway. Techie claims he and family attacked on Sranjan Das route. A senior police officer, when approached, said that he was not aware of the incident. City records 24.8 mm of rain. Karnataka elections, it's a straight fight in these neighboring constituencies. Gandhi Vajra banned today. FIR filed after fake recruitment and ad posted on police website. Traffic arrangements for VVIP movement. BJP promises free gas cylinders, half-liter milk to BPL families. The party, which is keen to beat the historical trend of no ruling dispensation getting re-elected in the last 38 years, has also promised to set up Atal Ahara Kendras. The manifesto titled Praja Pranalika offers 134 promises. BJP for implementation of uniform civil code in state. Government setting the clock back by allowing 12-hour shift for factory workers. Enhanced security and borders ahead of force. HDK says JDS is B team of Kannadigas. Gowda says no comments on Modi remark. With Sidramaya not in the fray, it is a triangular fight in Kola segment. Virus causing dengue has evolved dramatically in India. Find study. We have been trying to understand how different Indian variants are. We have found they are very different from the original strains used to develop the versions, says corresponding how the assault on regional identity of under BJP Congress leader. Additional forces deployed in Kuppam after clashes between YSCP and TDP supporters. The importance of constitutional punctuality. Let me read the today's editorial page. The importance of constitutional punctuality. Recently, the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly passed a resolution seeking to provide for a time frame for governors to act on bills passed by the state legislature. The motivation was that the governor of Tamil Nadu, R.N. Ravi, had withheld assent to as many as 13 bills passed by the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly. Last week, the Supreme Court of India, while disposing of a case filed by the state of Telangana against its governor, Dr. Tamil Sai Soundararajan, remarked that governors should not sit over bills indefinitely, taking this sentiment further. The idea of constitutional functionality need not be restricted to gubernatorial officers alone. All constitutional high officers, including those of the President of India and Speakers of Assemblies, must CEO moto have all the guidelines to discharge duties in a time-bound manner. In the resolution passed on April 10, 2023, the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly urged the Union Government and President to advise the Governor to decide on the bills passed by the state legislatures within a reasonable time period. The resolution proposed by the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin argued that it was important to protect the sovereignty of the legislatures and ultimately safeguard parliamentary democracy. Subsequently, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu wrote to his counterparts in other opposition ruled states and encouraged them to pass similar resolutions in their assemblies. So far, the Chief Ministers of Delhi, Kerala, and West Bengal have expressed their support for the resolution and its underlying principles. In the case of Telangana, the state had already filed a writ petition seeking direction from the Supreme Court to the governor to decide on the bills passed by the Assembly in a timely manner. Looking at these developments, it would be fair to say that the time has come to evolve a new constitutional architecture that would deliver on the demands for a time-bound constitutional delivery mechanism. Evolving constitutional scheme when the constitution was adopted in consequence of independence from the British rule. Some of the sovereign functions were retained for the sake of continuity to in governance. As such, there was no time limit fixed for various authorities to discharge duties that arose out of the constitutional scheme. It may also be understood that the drafters of the constitution in their contemporaneous wisdom expected Raj Bhavan to be nominated with those who would discharge sovereign duties behind the confines of political partisanship. Article 200 of the Constitution, as it stands today, limits the options before the governor to give assent to the bill sent by the legislature, or withhold assent, or reserve a bill for the consideration of the president. The nub of the issue is that governors have wrongly understood the function to grant assent to have endowed them with some discretionary responsibility. However, the direct import of the words used in the Constitution as well as a composite reading of the debate in the Constituent Assembly when this portion of the Constitution was deliberated and subsequently adopted portrays in altogether different interpretation. The original draft Article 175 moved for discussion in 1949 read as follows: provided that where there is only one house of legislature and the bill has been passed by that house, the governor may, in his discretion, return the bill together with a message requesting that the house will reconsider the bill. While moving the amendment to this article on July 30, 1949, B. Ambedkar said there can be no room for a governor acting on discretion and recommended removing the phrase that governor in his discretion. Therefore, the final article adopted by the Constituent Assembly and embedded in the Constitution explicitly negates any discretionary power. This position has been codified by a seven-judge bench of the Supreme Court in Shamsher Singh and Aina versus State of Punjab 1974, when it was held that the discretion of the governor is extremely limited and even in such rare cases shall act in a manner that is not detrimental to the interest of the state. Furthermore, the Supreme Court has repeatedly held that the governor shall only act on the hate and advice of the Council of Ministers. Moreover, a simple and plain reading of the article is sufficient to show how the meaning of the phrase withholds assent therefore has been willfully misinterpreted to mean holding back the bill, an act which is colloquially referred to as pocket veto. There can be nothing further from constitutional reality and literary meaning. Any straightforward reading of withholding assent can only mean to return the bill and not to hold back. The problem is accentuated as there is no time limit prescribed to return the bill, and as such, governors have considered themselves to be unaccountable to the principles of time bound governance. Time bound governance. Other jurisdictions where similar powers have been bestowed show a starkly different picture. In the United Kingdom, there has been no royal veto since 1708, when the assent to the Scottish Militia Bill was vetoed by Queen Anne. Whereas in the United States, there is a time limit for 10 days for the president to give assent or veto a bill. If the president doesn't sign or vetoes the bill within this time, it automatically becomes an act. If the president vetoes and returns the bill to the Congress or Senate, then both the chambers of the Congress must override the veto for it to become a law. Over time, matters involving an inexplicable delay in exercising powers by various authorities have been brought under the ambit of judicial review by constitutional courts. The Supreme Court in Kesham Megachandra Singh versus the Honorable Speaker Manipur 2020 issued a writ of mandamus to the Speaker of Meghalaya Legislative Assembly to decide on the disqualification petitions under the 10th schedule of the Constitution within a period of 4 weeks. In the case filed by the state of Telangana against the governor, the Supreme Court found it fitted to highlight the spirit of Article 200. While disposing of the case on April 24, 2023, the court acknowledged that the words in Article 200, as soon as possible after the presentation of the bill, held significant constitutional content and that governor should necessarily bear this in mind. As such, it would be appropriate for various constitutional authorities, such as governors exercising powers under Article 200 and speakers acting as quasi-judicial tribunals under 10th schedule, to avoid strict time frames and avoid unnecessary delays. One such an approach will advance the constitutional scheme and safeguard the will of the people exercised through the legislatures. This is about the bill which will be ruled a long time by the governors of the state. So you can read twice if you didn't understand. So just read the news was what as it is, and you will come to know what words are difficult, what words are not difficult to understand. the script and track of a mastered storyteller. Satyajit Ray, director, scriptwriter, documentary filmmaker, author, illustrator, and composer, to name a few, had a play for sketching from his childhood. His drawing teacher in school used to say that he was Satyajit not merely by name but in his deeds as well. Translation mine, praising his integrity, a British manager in the advertising firm where Ray worked made the comment that there was no chalala ki craftiness in him. Decades later, in an interview with the film critic Iqbal Masood and Shatranj K. Kilori, Ray said one can well imagine a treatment of annexation with Wajid painted whiter and a general outram blacker, which would automatically enhance its popular appeal. My treatment avoids this falsification. August 1978. Do all these fall in place? Does not raise over you reflect heart-wedded to truth that you valued so much? The word of Ray, extensive literature exists on the artistic merits of Ray's cinema. New books are being written and fresh appraisals made of all his films. While Ray continued to renew himself and explore new frontiers, critics, especially those based in the West, failed to keep pace with him. Nevertheless, the subterranean truthfulness of his persona and outpourings has never been questioned. In his book My Adventures with Satyajit Ray, Making of Satranj K. Kilari, for Collins 2017, producer Suresh Jindal faithfully chronicles his experience of how meticulous Ray had been in his research and treatment of the subject. Understandably, Ray took much longer time for his documentary and Tago than for a future feature, and for advancing the cause of good cinema. He didn't mince words even at the cost of raising controversy and being misunderstood. Ray's critic of his contemporary Mrinal scenes film Akosh Kusum, the much younger Mani calls Duvida, Kumar Sahani, Maya Darpan, and Babu Sita Kalyanam emanated from his conviction. In all these cases, he explained clearly the reasons behind. While Rees sounded critical of the initial works of a few directors, he was equally appreciative of others such as Adur Gopalakrishnan, Shyam Bengal, and M.S. Satyu. Among his contemporaries, his writings on Jean Luc Godard, who introduced radical departures from certain established norms of cinema, are comments on Ratvik Ghatak, who remained uninfluenced by Ray, are cases in point. In his convocation address at the Film and Television Institute of India, Pune 1974, his indictment that in our country at least films have been made with virtually no contribution from the director or at least nothing of a positive nature. Raised some accuracy contended that of various kinds of people contributing to a film year, the director was often the last culpable. Ray developed his own style and cinematic idiom, often laced with understatement, humor, and irony, while never undermining the audience. Therefore, his comment that Satranj was not for the Sholi audience was not to disparage Soli. In fact, he had real admiration for Soli's craftsmanship. What he indicated was that Sholi's was having aimed at mass audiences, whereas Satranj was not. Since cinema is the highest form of commercial art, audience taste cannot be ignored altogether. At the FTI convocation, Ray bade his mind. One can draw an analogy with cooking here and say that when a large number of people having a meal finds a certain dish unpalatable, the cook is in a no position to blame them for failing to rise to the level of his concoction, as long as it stays in the cans. A film is a dead matter. It comes to life and serves its purpose only in the theaters. In the presence of the public, however, remaining truthful to self, the audience, and to the demands of the subject being handled is a feat few masters can accomplish. In an article, April 5, 2023, the New Canadian Express, Hadur Gopalakrishnan alludes it to his telling Ray that he must have contributed substantially to the original text of Bibhuti Bandyopadhyay, Pathar Panchali in terms of richness in minute details, and a keen observation of life in a remote village in Bengal. Ray's answer surprised him. No, Adur is it is all in the book. Though not a propagandist and too individualistic to be swayed up by any dogma, his stand against state authoritarianism, religious superstition, corruption, and loss of innocence was portrayed in his characteristic style. Cinema and the deeper truth. I still remember our discussion at his dissidence decades ago when he explained how deeper truth is depicted in cinema. This keenness to go behind the surface of reality and probe deeper into the conditions of our life market films that bore his stamp. From truthfulness arose his determination to support cause dear to his heart. 4 decades ago, the tax authorities in Andhra Pradesh decided to levy entertainment tax on film society screenings. The Vijayawada Film Society, as I remember, received such a notice, aware that such a move would kill film society activities. We brought the matter to the notice of Ray. Expectedly, he shot half a letter to Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, who immediately intervened. The decision was promptly withdrawn. According to Ravi Gupta, former managing director of the National Film Development Corporation of India, Ray was the only filmmaker he knows of who had reported a few lakh rupees to the organization and as unspent balance for his film. Agantuk, having been associated with the production, commissioning, and financing of about 200 films, he found this experience as unique in every sense. Satyajit Ray lit up much of our cinema, didn't he live up to his name? This is about the article. Let me complete the buying charm. Detailing on the Adani Group probe will dent SGB credibility. Let me go to the next page. The death of another Nehruvian idea, walking a tightrope in a Chhattisgarh. Social justice questions pose a dilemma for the Congress government. The Dragon Chicks in China is the world champion in both open and women's chess, but India is in a superior position in terms of talent. Top of the world, China now holds both the men's and women's world titles in chess. While Ding Liren won the title on Monday, Zhu Wenjun is set to defend her title in July, yet with 49 GMs and 4 Super GMs. China lags behind its neighbor India, which has 80 GMs and 5 Super GMs. The tables and the graphs are based on data collected from ratings. Fired 2700 chess.com and chess.com. Government bans 14 apps in J&K, sites used by terror groups. Consultations on sedition law are in final stage. CBI books 2 suspended NIA officials over extortion. Supreme Court to hear plea fired by murdered IAS officer's widow on May 8th. Supreme Court on Monday agreed to hear a petition filed by the widow of murdered Gopalganj District Magistrate and IAS officer G. Krishnaya on May 8th, challenging a tweak in the Bihar prison law which precipitated the premature release of former Bihar MP and gangster turned politician Anand Mohan, who was sentenced to life imprisonment for killing Krishnaya in 1994. A bench led by Chief Justice of India Jeeva Chandrachud fixed the day after an urgent mentioning made by Uma Krishnaya Mohan was released from Shastra prison on April 27. The Bihar prison manual was amended on April 10 to allow convicts serving life imprisonment for heinous offences to apply for remission if they had completed 14 years in a prison. Amendment also removed the bar on life convicts involved in the murder of a public servant on duty from seeking remission of sentence. No reason whatsoever was given for the amendment, which was brought into effect through a state law department notification. The amendment served well for Mohan and 26 others who successfully applied for remission and got it life imprisonment when awarded as a substitute for the death penalty has to be carried out strictly as directed by the court and would be had application of remission. The court's the petitions are contended. This was the case of Mod 1994. BCSP MP Ansari disqualified from Lok Sabha after being convicted in murder case. Members of meet committee to file contempt proceedings against panel. As he noticed to UP government on plea of disqualified MLA Abdullah Ajam Khan in criminal case. India leads in laundering Russian oil and selling to Europe. Report. Let's get support from more leaders, CPU security over while police. Setback for India as MVS wins most seats in IPMC elections in Maharashtra. Giving ECB more time for Adani probe may imply the issue will get viewed Congress. Listen to listeners Man Ki Baat. We are on an audience quest to find leader with mass appeal in Maharashtra. Japan to train 1,000 Indian engineers for bullet train project. Another batch of 186 Indians back home from Sudan. Success of an initiative lies on its impact upon people. Modi. Inaugural Association India Maritime exercise in South China Sea from today. If charge sheet is filed on time, no question of default bail. Rajya chairman calls CPI MPO article. Justice Chase says he worked on his new CJ of Kolkata at sea. Vidura warns of disaster. It's an international war news. Turkey offers details of various chief's death. Says he set up suicide test. West. Donald Trump requests mass ministerial and rape accuser Karolius case. Israel forces kill Palestinian teen and raid on occupied West Bank. Russian missile attack on Ukraine city injures 34 people, damages homes. Despite truce, Sudan near bag-breaking point, says UN. China's state-owned farm to build port complex in Sri Lanka. UN holds talks on Afghanistan crisis in Qatar without Taliban. Uzbekistan president wins referendum to rewrite the constitution. Year-end comprehensive lift April GST revenues to record 1.87 lakh crore. Revenue from goods import declined 4.57% even as domestic transactions yielded over 16% more taxes. ICRA chief economist Aditi Noya expects a normalizing and base and a cooling inflation to moderate growth in GST and revenue in the coming year quarter. PMI signals April manufacturing it a 4-month high input cost climate. What it is exactly the district election copy officer. Retail sector to lead a hiring of men with STEM qualifications. This is the sports news. Ballers Day out as Royal Challengers defend low total against Super Giants. Tweak sets Rahani's stock soaring. Titans look to continue celebrations, Capitals to go get back to winning ways. Jaiswal focused on driven Sangakkara. We have been clinical and ruthless. Gill. Our target is to break into top 4 and not be content being in top 60. Sri Shankar opens international season with gold in US meet. Jota seals a thriller for Liverpool after Tottenham fight back. Aditi makes it to four playoffs, wishes finishes T20. Usamuddin advances being the winning the exists. Senator keep trials for the Asian Games. Text and context. Remove concession of senior citizens led to a raise in revenue. Women register for Ladi Bana scheme of the MP government. Inactive job cards under MGNREGA cancelled by Bihar. The accounts banned by Meta owned WhatsApp in March. The people who fled from Sudan to Central African Republic. China's amended anti-espionage law. The amendments come amid a string of high-profile cases involving journalists, foreign executives, as well as international companies in China who have come under the lens of authorities on national security grounds. The idea behind the legislation is to prevent, stop, and punish espionage conduct and maintain national security. Deshadroha. The ever expanding medicinal uses and properties of psychedelic substances. This is the last page, guys. I hope you are reading the newspaper from at least 42 to 40 minutes to 2 hours for the more for effective communication improvement in the next 30 days. The next 15 days, it's been already 16 videos were already updated in the YouTube. I hope the remaining will be videos will be updated as in the daily basis. Please subscribe to my channel, like and comment. I see you in the upcoming videos. Bye bye. Take care. Have a great day.